Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. All right. I'm on my phone. It's a little harder to admit people, but it's all good. Okay. How are you? Everyone hear me?
TGIF.
What?
TGIF.
Yeah, TGIF.
That doesn't mean anything to real.
That doesn't. I was just about to say that. All right. How we feeling?
Good.
All right. I wanted to just take a quick look at our goals. If you have not typed in your goals, can we just take a moment to do that? I know we are all.
Yep.
This is a new system, and I appreciate your patience with it. We're trying, we're gonna fail forward if necessary. However, what I want to do is be able to track your activities, your actuals versus your goals. And the only way to do that is by knowing what your goals are on a specific week, based on your kind of evaluation of your commitments and your calendar and other things you got going on, like how much time can you give to all this, and therefore what numbers are we striving for. So I have posted a couple of different places the link. It's the same link as before. And in the light green, what I want you to do is just tell me your, in the May 1 to May 10 tab, tell me your goals, okay, for that time period, May 1 to May 10. I know we didn't start this until after May 1. Just count the number of days and give me the goal, and we'll be right on track for next time. And after, what would that be, Sunday, you can report your actuals. And then that will help me understand where you are in terms of your performance to your goal. Secondly, I want to, I haven't figured out how to show you things using this system yet, but I know that I've, let me see who's on the call. So Stephanie, I sent you one yesterday. Donna, the two of us did one together yesterday. Kim, I know I sent you one yesterday, and the others I'm kind of doing it randomly. But what I've done is taken a slightly simplified version of the MREA2 spreadsheet with the tabs at the bottom. Oh, let me make sure Jenny hears this. All right. Morning. So, very slightly simplified version of the MREA2 model page. And at the very bottom has the economic model, and all the formulas are all tied together. It's the one we've looked at quite a bit in here. And I added the big rocks tab, which tells us how many people we need to speak to every day, how many listings we should hold at each, have active at all times. And it tells us what our 4 conversations ought to look like on an annual and a monthly basis. Okay. What I am doing, what I think is most successful, is rather than saying, here, look at mine, let's edit it for you, and then we part ways, to just create a one-on-one doc for you. So I'll use you, Donna, as an example. Yesterday during the launch mastermind, we essentially created one together. So I made a copy of the doc, I retitled it for Donna, and then I shared it with her. So now we have a shared document that I can edit, she can edit, I can ask questions, she can answer them, vice versa. And at all times, I can look at her models page, then I can look at her goals and make sure they're in line. Then I can look at her actuals and make sure they're in line. And what I've done, if you notice, let's say Stephanie, one thing I did for you I'm going to not tell you my trick, but I'm going to tell you my trick. On the economic model, I just did this. I don't know if you've looked at it, but it says delete this when you finish the work. That way I know you've done it and you have looked at it. Okay. So the goal is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of them today, but that's the goal, is to create an individualized, essentially coaching tab for you so that we can have some shared documents and be able to, use that as a tool when we're one-on-one. Okay. And edit it as necessary. Sound good? Okay. So be on the lookout for that. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. And now that we have a few extra people on the call, I'm going to make a request. I know people are asking for a lot of tracking. I know it. Bold wants you to track. I want you to track. Everyone wants you to track. And now I'm asking you to track your goals. It's not just for work's sake. It's so that we can have a clear indication of where you want to be versus where you are, and how I can help if there's any fallout. Okay. So same link. Go to the May 1 through May 10 tab, light green. Put in your goals. After Sunday, you will put in your right above it. You'll put in the gray line your actuals. Okay. And I will tell you, you guys got some awesome goals here.
There's one that I know I need to adjust because of something I discovered with how I'm doing my sheet. So one of them, I'm going to have to reduce it down because I have to switch my tactic.
Is that the number of people you're going to add to your database?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That did seem a little high. Okay, cool.
Well, I thought because I have so many that I'd just be able to shift it over. But when my contacts went into the sheet, I got to the address column, and the addresses are all in a block instead of separated out by entities. So I'm going to have to, instead of doing a big bulk batch, I'm going to choose however many a day that I'm going to be trying to contact and just edit those. And I'm going to do a daily batch instead of a big bulk batch.
Yeah. And that might being slowed down with respect to that might make it more palatable to make a phone call at the same time.
Yeah. So I was planning on just putting them in and having it there and choosing who I was going to call from my database, getting them on the schedule by their last name. And so it would automatically populate. So I wanted to set that up, but it's not going to work that way. So I have to adjust that goal.
Awesome. Like they said before, becoming a master of yourself and ultimately a master of your business, step one is awareness, right? But if the 6 or 7 of you that have posted take all the listings you want to take, we're going to take 10 listings in the first week of May and pin 8 deals. That's awesome. So I'm excited. It gets me excited to see y'all's numbers. That's why I keep asking you, because I just want to know. I want to add them all up and see how big our lives are going to become. Okay. All right. Who went to Bold yesterday?
I did.
Okay. Let's share some of your ahas. Let's share some of your ahas. Who wants to go first?
Hold on.
Get my brain back to that moment.
I gotta get back.
Yesterday was not as powerful as day one. I don't know why. I don't know why. It was a lot of things. There were a lot of things that were reiterated that I liked a lot.
Yes.
And I needed that because there were so many notes that first day. It wasn't as overwhelming yesterday. And I'm sure that Tuesday will be again fabulous.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you're doing it. So glad you're doing it.
Bill, one of my takeaways was about limiting beliefs, and that the key to overcoming them is recognizing, understanding, recognizing the limiting beliefs, understanding how we got them, and then banishing them through sustained activity.
That's good.
That's important.
Our minds think alike. We jot down the same nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one a lot. what Dusty, I really like that guy, Dusty. I've never
I
seen
like
him.
Dusty too. I do.
Yeah.
So one thing that he said right before he said that, Donna, is he said, limiting beliefs are the untruths of our choices, inaccurate narrative about our life, and they're rooted in personal fear.
Wow.
And there was one nugget, like they have this bold law. It was actually one of the newer bold laws that said, fear or faith, you choose, right? And I forget who said it, but they said, fear is having faith that something will go wrong.
Fear is having faith that something will go wrong.
Isn't that a...
Gosh.
Yes.
Here's one. Fear sees a threat. Anxiety imagines one. That's not a bold law, but that's,
Right.
Being anxious about it and fear, something that's not even going to happen.
Right. Right. Imagine if you just prepped yourself every time you had a fear rather than getting anxious about it. You just went and created a plan that if this thing happens, how am I going to react to it? How am I going to
That's right. Yeah.
Then you'd feel a lot more prepared and a lot more confident. Yeah.
Can I have some more cereal? Same amount?
Can you ask your mother for that? Do you want to say hi to my friends? Go ask your sister or your mom, okay? I'm the host. All right, guys, 2 seconds.
That's sweet.
That is.
I remember those days. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sure though me remembering those days makes me say it's so tough to be with them 24/7.
Oh my gosh.
It is. Oh Lord, yes.
Kathy Ray, can I thank you for your help last night? I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome, Donna. Happy to help you.
It's so awesome to know that you have a support team. So thank you
Kathy's
so
the best.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I love helping people.
much. Well, you're awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will tell you, maybe I don't know if I should say this, but I'll say it anyway. When from a leadership team, we've been toying with this idea for a long time, actually. And when we finally decided to put it into place, we said, well, who should be these mentors? Who are the people that we should be thinking about? And every single person in that room said Kathy Ray.
Oh,
That's nice. Thank you.
So it's not coincidental that it's not happenstance and random that people are selected for opportunities and recognized for their efforts, right? It's well earned.
I'm so lucky she's my Keller Williams mama.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if Jan's on the call, but Jan was a big help to me last night too. So I really appreciate the both of them.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jan
Thank you, guys.
Jan's awesome.
All right. Anyone else have any notes they want to vocalize about bold?
Well, I liked the quote they gave of use the dirt life throws at you to plant the seeds of your success.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hear that.
I loved that. I wrote that one down.
That was at the very end.
I made a I don't know, Facebook post out of it in Canva.
Oh yeah? I don't think I saw that.
Go back and look again.
I love the fundamentals are never outdated, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one can take our relationships from us, right? Our job is to make our relationships so strong that our people wouldn't dare talk to a different realtor or go online for information. They'd come straight to us, right?
I think right now it's important that our clients or our friends or our contacts realize that we are the source that they need to go to for information. Not, there's just too much information out there if you Google it.
Exactly. And that's why your message should be kind of full circle, if you will, right? So some of the message that you're sending to your people should be, hey, real estate's still happening. Here's the number of homes that have closed in the last 3 days or whatever. Some of your message should be, here's me with my mask and my booties and my gloves on, and I'm, prepping a home for sale, or I'm about to meet a buyer, right? This is how we're keeping everyone safe during this situation. And some of your message is honest evaluation of the marketplace, right? And honest
and the fact that we can collaborate with others.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think it's powerful that you are in a room with 40,000 agents right now, multiple times a week, learning and masterminding?
Yeah.
That is powerful.
If you were to let people know that, it just in conversation, yeah, I'm taking some classes online, and one of them even has 40,000 people in it. 40,000 people. A lot of people have never done anything with 40,000 people, including other than a baseball game, right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Imagine that. It's like a baseball game full of KW agents learning. Isn't that kind of cool?
That's cool.
And the fact that we share and not compete so hard against each other lets us collaborate. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I have
Locally.
I have 9 non-KW people that I've personally invited to Bold that are participating. Okay. Every one of them is just they're just shocked. They're just flat out shocked. Okay, first of all. And then I sent them all the shift book yesterday because they keep referencing the shift book, right? So I sent them all a copy of the shift book, just not the real thing, the PDF. And their reaction was I don't think they've ever been given anything from their peers or their brokerage, right? You guys are so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
These people, the way they reacted to me sending them a PDF is was, in my opinion, pretty unusual. I forgot what it's like to live in an environment like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How we doing otherwise? Any questions on Bold? Anything that we want to that you want to speak about publicly?
Yeah. The other day he said we ought, don't be calling asking for business. I guess it's like doing your Ford calls. Call it, do these database calls to check in, but not asking for business.
The way I heard that, I'm so stopped up today. Sorry, guys. The way I heard that is that it should have a forward kind of theme to it, like a real contribution call.
Okay.
Right? And when you are bringing up real estate, if you decide to bring up real estate, it sounds a lot more like, hey, we know that there's a lot of people that have, housing questions, or they're struggling with, their mortgage, or they have, they're hearing information and misinformation. And Kathy, if there's anyone that that has a need or a question, just let me know. I'd love a chance to help them. Okay. That's one way of approaching it. The other way of approaching it is, oh, hey, by the way, I'm glad to hear everyone's great. Thank you. Do you know anyone that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate today?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. Have a nice life. Call you in 6 weeks. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can use real estate as a vehicle to aid, right? Because you have all the tools, you got the tech, you've got the systems and organization, you've got the peer group, and you have the knowledge. So you can use all that knowledge to share and to help, to truly contribute, right? And you'll get you'll get probably double the leads with that approach than you would if you just hammer over the head with, who do you know that wants to buy, sell real estate and invest in real estate that can help today? I'm in a contest, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was the takeaway. It's not to say they say, well, hey, well, let's say you ask me, well, hey, Bill, gosh, you must not be selling anything. Is the whole real estate market shut down? You're like, hey, this is a call for contribution. We're not going to be talking about my work, right? We're not, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
don't embrace it. If they bring it up, it's because they want to talk about it, right?
Right.
So just tell them how things are going and be positive. And then again, go right back to the coming from the heart, which is, we all got into this business because we're givers, right? So let's go give.
It really helps me to do the role play with Kathy because she's my accountability partner, because I think I know what I'll say, but I stumble when I start talking about how it's going for me. Like when people ask me, I need to work on that, where I have, like my answer that fits me or whatever.
I'm really glad that you said that, because realtors are like the life of the party. Everyone wants to know how we're doing.
Yes.
Right. Everyone wants to know if you've seen any cool houses lately, or if you've helped anybody, or what people are experiencing, or prices going up or down, right? I mean, one of my poker buddies asked me about, I hadn't seen him in a few weeks, and he asked me about the market. Or I hadn't talked to him in a few weeks, I should say. Like, he's like, I'm sure nothing's happened in the market. You're probably just sitting around doing nothing, aren't you? I'm like, dude, I've worked more in the last 3 months than I've worked ever.
Yes.
Look at me. Does it look like I'm sitting around?
And we're so grateful for you. You're so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. You see where I'm coming from? So those questions are going to be asked to you, and they're going to be asked to you whether there's a pandemic or not. So you want to make sure that you're prepared. And that's why, like I think Kathy wrote on the page yesterday, when I sat through an hour and a half class, I shouldn't say sat through, when I attended a hour and a half class on Chartmasters, and I heard a particular stat and I heard a particular phrase, I went and told my seller, hey, you need to know this, and we got a price reduction. You want to share that story? You're on mute.
I just called him. I mean, it was overpriced when we put it on the market the week that this craziness started, and he has lots of money and he didn't care. He wanted it to stay at that price. And I just called him yesterday and said, listen, this is what's going on in the attached, because it's a townhome right on the edge of Buckhead and Brookhaven. And I said, this is what's going on in the townhome condo market, and we got to get ahead of the game right now. And he said, okay. And then he said, thanks for all you're doing. Go ahead and reduce it. So
what statistic was it, Kathy?
Well, that we've already seen the drop, that the prices are coming down, that it's slowed down, and it's, I took it from that graph that they were, that graph they were using about how long it's going to sit on the market, and that we've, in the luxury market and the condo townhome market, which he's at 700,000. It's a very nice place. So he's kind of got the double whammy, and he said, okay, reduce it. I said, okay. And he only gave me 25,000, but I said, we may have to come back and do another one.
Good job. What's going to happen next is you're going to see that this doesn't do anything, and I'm going to have to come back to you and repeat everything I just said to get the rest of the price reduction.
Yeah.
Remember what we talked about the other day? It's like you always have to end every conversation with, and this is what's going to happen next.
Yeah. I did say I'm going to reduce it. But the thing is we have two people who have been sitting on the fence about it, and I contacted their agents yesterday and said, listen, we just dropped the price 25,000. And one of them, like, you could hear the excitement in her voice. They're both Keller Williams agents too, so.
Right. Here you go, Ben. Here you go. Yeah, I mean, gosh, that's a tricky price range, especially for townhomes, because they've got so much on the market, especially in that area, and like that 5-ish, high 4s, low 5s area.
Yeah.
And there's so many to choose from there. Or they could go up and, go up the road a quarter of a mile towards Lenox and buy $1 million place and probably steal it from somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Because the luxury market, luxury and condo townhome generally are leading indicators for the market. So if you see what's happening.
Wait, say that again, Bill.
If you look at, let's say you have 3 different departments, if you will: luxury, condo townhome, single family home. What happens in the luxury and townhome and condo market generally is a leading indicator for what happens in the single family market. Meaning,
I did not know that.
If days on the market is going to increase, or days on the market is going to decrease, or prices are going to start to dip a little bit, you generally see that in the luxury market and the condo and townhome market first. Right. This is from a macro level, right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, sure.
what
Yeah.
Masterminds
Yeah.
is. That's why, I just sold my townhome in Sandy Springs for, after I paid for all the things I did, carpet or paint and, all the things I replaced. By the time I lived there, I lost money, or it probably broke even. But I could have sat there all day and said, I want a better price, but there wasn't a person in the world that was going to give it to me. I also want to sell my GE stock for $40 a share, but the damn thing's worth $6 a share. Right? What they want and what they're going to get is 2 different things. That's what we learned in the shift book, right? Okay. What's everyone's bold law for this week? What are we focused on?
What you focus on expands. That's
No
not
pressure,
good.
no diamonds.
What you focus on expands. And what are you focused on, Kathy?
Listings.
Everyone, Kathy Ray is focused on listings. Let's help her. Okay, who else?
Jenny's diamonds.
Diamonds.
I need to catch up on my contacts. I have fallen behind, so I plan to work all weekend on reaching my goal.
I love that. Thank you. Did you have a bold law that you are that you've kind of written down or highlighted or whatever?
Oh, yesterday she said what you focus on expands also. Didn't you, Donna?
Okay, good. She's
That's
on
also
mute.
mine.
Ooh, I love that.
Today, it's come from contribution. I just want to remember that that's what my calls are about, coming from contribution and building relationships.
Right.
Not so much worrying about the business piece.
Well, they say service first and sales second.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When you tell your brain that this is a call about service and contribution, you sound different than when you tell your brain, I need to make more calls so I can make more money. You do. So which do you think a buyer or a seller wants to hear on the other side? That you're patient, and that you're compassionate, and that you're empathetic, and that
you care.
Actively listen, that you care. Right, exactly. Okay, mine's focus on the plan, not the problem. Okay, high five to the person that can tell me what our one thing is. What is the one thing of a real estate agent? Pop quiz.
Lead gen.
Close. They used a different word in bold, but communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we do.
Communicate. Mm-hmm.
Simple as
Communicate with people.
Communicate with people. All right, A, W, T, and J. Those are the people we should be reaching out to this week. I apologize that the bold tracking and my tracking is slightly off from week to week. I'm sure we can handle it though. What I want is May 1 through May 10 goals. And then before you go to bed on Sunday night, if you could put in your actuals for the same time period and tab, that'd be fantastic. Okay, one last question. I know that we are super busy and we have chart masters that popped up, and we've got Zoom, and we've got all these things going on. We didn't have anybody that came to the big session yesterday. Did I have it scheduled over something different, or?
Wait, tell me what I'm supposed to be coming to.
So everyone should, in a perfect world,
Yes.
everyone would come to the morning huddle. So every day
8:30.
from 8:30 to 9.
Okay.
They would come to the mastermind that is applicable to their production group, right?
Okay.
Growth is today from 1 to 2. Growth is 11 units and more in a year. Okay. We talk about things that are most applicable to agents that are with that experience. Emerging is 4 to 10 units per year. That mastermind, more often than not, is Monday from 2 to 3. And then launch, which is agents that are 0 units to 3 units, more often than not, is 12 to 1 on Thursday. So those 3 masterminds are applicable to kind of content related to your production level. And then I have what I called an all group session, which is from 1 to 2 on Thursday. I had to tweak the schedule a little bit just because of Bold, but that's where I have it right now. So launch 12 to 1 Thursday. This is this week. I can go ahead and give you next week if you want. Let me just make sure it's correct. Oh, by the way, pay attention to your emails from the office about Red Day. Okay. Red Day. Don't forget, it's next Thursday.
I have a question about Red Day.
Yeah.
When we signed up, is it like we just drop the stuff off at that time?
Yes, exactly.
We don't go and stand there and collect it from people that are dropping it off.
That's correct. You just drop it off.
Okay.
So next week, and I'll have a little graphic for you guys here shortly. Launch is going to be Wednesday from 12 to 1. Emerging is going to be Monday from 2 to 3. And growth is going to be Friday from 1 to 2. And then the big group session, this is where what I have in mind for the big group session or all group session is all of us are there. And we're using that as a platform to kind of share big nuggets, to congratulate people, to struggles and successes, overcoming scripts, challenges, objections, that kind of stuff. That's Tuesday 1 to 2 prior to Bold. Okay. Or at least this week. 1 to 2 Tuesday. And then I'm probably going to be a little light on this week or this month just because of Bold, but then usually there's at least 1 and oftentimes 2 either seminars or classes or something like that based on the content that you guys want to hear about. But we've got a ton of stuff with Bold and all the homework from Bold. So I'll probably be a little light on that this month. And then every other Monday, so this upcoming Monday, from 1 to 2 is going to be a new PC person orientation. So if you are unfamiliar with all the offerings of PC, or you're new to the group, that's a time for us to kind of focus on the basics and to make sure that you have you're a part of everything. And then every other Monday, so the other Monday, right, is going to be a class that I've been using as essentially a recruiting tool. That is 10 steps to 6 figures. So that's been 1 o'clock on Monday. So you're more than welcome to come to that too. Okay, so that's kind of a breakdown of the schedule. I'd love for you to be at as much as possible, but what I'd love more is for you to put up numbers that are that keeps you on track. So don't come to every class and then put up a bunch of zeros. That's not gonna make me happy. I'd rather I not see you when you put up some listings. Okay.
Pressure.
No pressure, no diamonds, y'all.
That's right.
No pressure, no diamonds. Okay. One last thing is DocuSign. There was a Lucy, I think, or Lucy or Melody sent out a email yesterday. And I believe there's also a video posted or several videos posted on Facebook. Take some time to review that. I know Susan's been pretty active in posting as well. Daloop, my understanding is it's going away. There was a time we were talking about it going away in September. Now it's finally going away. Okay, so I don't know the first thing, to be perfectly frank with you, about taking loops from one place to the other, but I'm going to have to find out.
But we'll
Okay.
still have access to the loops that we had in Daloop. We just can't create new ones.
See, that's how little I understand.
And you know, one thing I wanted to ask Sam about too, y'all, this is good to know. In our calendars, I somehow subscribed to Dotloop. And so I think that they're still in my, like, they can still see all my stuff, which now that it's Zillow, that's concerning. You know, they told us we need to disconnect from them.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys do know that Dotloop is owned by Zillow, right? Dotloop
Yeah.
is owned by Zillow, and every other vendor, every other real estate brokerage that uses Dotloop, Zillow has complete access to their information.
But
Keller
like my
Williams,
calendar's linked to it. So I've disconnected my calendar from it.
yeah, Keller Williams had negotiated a deal where they didn't get that data from our loops. When that deal expired, that's why we're leaving Dotloop, because they don't want to honor it anymore. And we have a data pledge to our agents. And so we're going to a place that does honor that, which is DocuSign. It's not just a bunch of like, hey, let's try DocuSign today, right? This is to protect, this is just another example of doing everything to protect you guys. All right. Our one thing is to communicate with people. Y'all go communicate with people. And if you are in the growth group, I will see you at 1. And to be honest with you, I got almost more out of the coaches corner than I did the session. So don't forget that that's available today from 2 to 4. Okay. All right. Go post your goals. I'll see you soon.
I have a question before the ladies leave. I'm the agent on duty today. Can any of you kind of clue me in on what to expect and what I should be prepared for?
Sure. Yeah.